Alright guys, my phone's actually about dead. We got home from a little base meet, so I'm going to put a few videos of that possibly right here. And if you didn't see them, that means I put them in a separate video. But anyway, I don't know how many videos I've shot at this point. I've shot a few, so or at least probably a couple. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys here. We got the baffle all put in. Like I said, I didn't film any of that because really I couldn't get any good camera angles of it. And I've got the rear port mounted. So yeah, there you go. That's what I have so far. Right now I'm waiting on my Ryobi drill battery to charge because I had two and one of them died. So one of the connections came loose inside. I've got to fix it. But anyway, yeah, so we got the rear port down and all glued and screwed into place. I filled all my, I had a few holes back here. I didn't want to go in from the sides on there and try to deal with the depth and everything, so I just went straight through the back, and I filled all these holes in here. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking now while I'm waiting on that battery to charge, because I've got to be able to, you know, screw in the back plate here. I'm kind of just trying to decide what I want to paint right now. So I probably want to paint the inside of the port first before I put the back on. So I'm probably going to paint all this before I get that back port on. Oh, I'm so glad I shot this video because I just now remembered I need to put in my rear port 45 as well. I'm so glad I shot this video. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to put in that rear 45, and then yeah, we'll probably move on to painting the inside of the box, because all I need is the front edge to put the front on. So I can paint the whole inside right now. So I'm probably going to do a little wiping out, get all the dust out, and throw down a few layers of paint, and get this back put on, and then get the front put on. So anyway, that's the progress so far. Alrighty guys, it's late at night again, but before my phone dies, there you go. That's where we're at. We got the back all on. Everything's ready to go for the front. I've just got to do a little bit of painting, and I'm going to paint as much as I can, and then we're going to slap the front on, and then no, we're going to do as much painting as we can, then we're going to wire the subs, then we're going to slap the front on, because I want to wait as long as I can before I have to crawl through the front port and to do stuff inside the box. So we're going to get everything we possibly can done before we mount the front. I'm going to get subs mounted and all the wiring ran and everything else. We'll pop test them with a battery, make sure everything's ready to roll, and we'll be slapping the front on. And at that point, we've just got some wrap up to do to actually get the subs playing, and then we're immediately going to go to doing wood roof and sealing off the box to the roof. So yeah, let's keep it rolling. I'm done for the night. I'm gonna let all this stuff dry and pick it back up tomorrow. All right, look, guys, it's been a while, okay? I get it. I know. It's been a while. I know. Some developments have happened. So we were going to be running the RD Alphas, but a really good deal came up on these Sundown XV3s, and I couldn't pass it up. So we were going to be running HDC 3s, the SoundCube HDC 3s, or HDX 3s. We were going to be running the SoundCube HDX 3s. That was the plan. That's what this was designed for, this box here. But I ran across these, and they are monsters. I have never had anything even slightly close to that. So, yeah, this is what we're doing. We're loading them. We're loading them in the box. I got my, let me turn the camera around. We got the wires loosely ran right now. We're going to zip tie everything up. I grabbed a old gasket from one of the old RDs, which these holes were cut out for, and I put it on there, and it looks pretty darn close. And then I laid the gasket over the top of this, and there's a little bit of space, which is good. It's a good thing, especially for inverted subs. I do not want any rubbing of the surround on the box. Now we have to flip this subwoofer over and get it somehow over that hole. And it weighs 75 pounds. So yeah, I'm sitting here trying to figure out exactly. I'm a pretty stout dude, but yep, they weigh a lot. So anyway, I'm gonna try to flip this thing over and get it lined up with the hole, and then I'm gonna stick my head under the baffle. We still haven't mounted the front yet because I wanted to get all of this done before I even try to mount the front. If I can get all 4 subs in and wired, and make sure they all move correctly up and down and all that good stuff, that's kind of the goal. So yeah, I'm gonna flip this big sucker over. Sorry, I got my finger in front of the camera. I'm gonna flip this big sucker over and see if I can get it over that hole without hurting myself or the sub. So wish me luck. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure why the audio did not transfer over from my phone here, but this is just me showing the clearance on the other underside of the baffle. And honestly, I was just doing this for myself more than anything, but I included it in this video, a small clip of it. But this is just showing the clearance, and I had decent clearance around the surround. So there you go. All right, guys, that'll give you a good visual of what it's going to look like in there. I got it all the way to the back hole. It was not easy. I'll tell you what, if that's a 75-pound sub, I cannot imagine these guys that have to load these 100 and whatever odd pound subs. Like, I just can't imagine. But anyway, that's sub 1 down, and it does line up with my hole. Thank goodness. That was my main fear, is that the holes weren't going to be big enough. I am going to have a problem here, though, and that is the fact that these have metal gaskets on them, and it's too wide right here, so they're going to touch. So on 2 of the subs, I'm going to have to cut, at very minimum, the metal gasket, which is horrible. It sucks, but at least you can replace those. If I ever go to sell them, you can replace those. So I'll just have to take my grinder and grind off a corner of that metal gasket, since these have the metal ones on there. So anyway, there is 1 sub loaded. And yeah, I looked at this right here. That's just paint from the last owner. But like that stuff, I don't know what kind of paint they were using, but that stuff is there. Like, I would have to take a razor blade and try to get it off, and then I'm just going to scratch the black paint up. And frankly, I just don't care enough to remove it all. So you know what? That paint is just part of that sub now. But I got it all pre-wired. I got little jumpers running. The one thing I had to decide was, these are dual 2 ohm, and the ones that I just did are dual 1 ohm, because I was wanting to run everything at 1 ohm. And it kind of didn't matter anyway, just because the subs I was running, all that was going to be very overpowered for those RD alphas. So on this one, we're going to be running more rated, so I can throw a lot more power at these. I think these are rated at like 2500, but I know there's a lot of people that said they've beat on them for literally years at like 4,000 watts a piece, and they take it just fine. So we are going to wire all 4 of these together for a final 1 ohm load, and then we are going to strap the amps so that each amp sees 0.5. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. That'll give us plenty of headroom. I probably won't have the battery to do it right there at first, but at least we can burp it at 0.5, and then we can just turn it down for demos. So until we can get some lithium up in here. So anyway, there's 1 sub loaded, so I'm going to go get the second one. All right, guys, I don't know what you're going to see of this, but it's the next day from when I got the first 2 subs loaded, and I'm going to try to load this on video. I know the camera angle is not great. We're trying to load it right here. I know the camera angle is not just like fantastic or anything, but this is as good as it gets. So yeah, I just wanted to get one of these on video. This is one of the front subs, so remember, this will be much easier than the back ones, because before I had to set the sub up here in this hole and then get up in the box and lift it over. Again, I know 75 pounds doesn't seem like much, and I didn't think it was going to be like much. Like, I knew it would be heavy, but I didn't think it was going to be bad. But it turns out when you're holding it away from your body and you're in awkward angles, crunched up in a vehicle, yeah, it's tough. So let's load it. I did already make a cut, so this does have to load a certain way. I'm pretty sure I made the cut backwards. Oh well, we're gonna make it work. So anyway, we got to put the flat side of this sub. You can just barely see right there. I made this side flat. We got to put the flat side of the sub right there. So now we got to get it flipped over without touching the surround. All right, we got it flipped over now at least. All right, we got to do this part all kind of in one motion here because I can't set it down on the edge of the box. So here we go. Get the lip set down. And there it is. Whew. All right, sweet. So that cut I made is going to give it enough room. I think I caught this around just a little bit. I want to make sure that I didn't rip it. I don't feel any rips. Unfortunately, my cutouts were for the RDs, so it doesn't auto center. Not to mention I messed those cuts up a little bit, but it's okay. Nip off the edge of these wires. Like I said, inside, when I first got the subs, I went ahead and cut all my lengths of 8 gauge on the inside and made jumpers from this coil to this coil. Like I said, we are wiring them to 0.5. So we are wiring them each pair series parallel. Never done that before, but I ran my jumper wires. The terminals are like 4 gauge size. So I ran the jumper wire to the back side of the terminal, and I'm running my main wire to the front side of the terminal. This is why I do like direct leads sometimes. It can kind of be nice just to be able to just wire them together or solder them together and just be done, but this will work too. I'm going to go ahead and throw a zip tie on those two just for some assurance. And I'll go ahead and throw one more on this back spoke. Alrighty. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Alright, that sub is wired. I'm thinking I may go ahead and screw in the back subs before I get this last sub in place. I haven't screwed any of them in, and I really should have done that. But I need to go get some screws and screw all these subs down before I really go any further. And just like that, they're all 4 loaded. I don't know what the deal is today. It's like 82, 83 degrees out here. I've been working in like 100-degree plus weather, so this has been beautiful. Dude, I am pouring sweat today. Like I could wring out my shirt right now. I don't know what the deal is, but subs are in, all 4 of them. Looking pretty. I still got to wire this one here. But yeah, there you go. They're all 4 in. I'm gonna wire them. I'm gonna have my little wifey come out here, and I'm gonna touch a drill battery to the back, make sure they're all moving in and out the same direction. And then, yeah, we can start getting the front maybe slapped on. All right, that's the next step. Got to do a little bit of wiring on this sub, and then we're gonna test them, and then we'll do the front.